I've been waiting on these for a while and they didn't disappoint. Back when New Balance first released the 990 V6, it kind of divided New Balance fans. Some people thought the modern redesign was a nice addition to the 990, while others thought that the changes were a bit much. Over the last year, the model has really started to gain some popularity thanks in large part to some very strong collaborations with Action Bronson and some very nice GR colorways as well. But with this pair right here, I think we may have just found a V6 that everyone can agree is a very nice looking pair of shoes. My name is Josh and I will be reviewing the New Balance 990 V6 in the cream colorway. So these released worldwide on July the 28th for a retail price of $220 US, and in Europe it is a slightly higher price of 250 euros. Nowadays, New Balance general releases don't really sell out, so you can choose to wait around, see if these go on sale at an even deeper discount. But you never know, this colorway is just so nice that it might just sell out and then you might regret not getting them. This pair was part of Made in USA Season 3. Teddy Santis has been the creative director of Made in USA, and over the last couple of years, we have gotten some absolutely exceptional pairs as part of this collaboration. And as a fan of New Balance, I've been really happy about this collab because we've managed to get some really nice colorways as general releases rather than as more limited editions that are much harder to get. All of these Made in USA pairs have been very widely available, and no different with this pair. They released alongside two other shoes. The first is a 990 V4 in an almost identical colorway. There is a bit of different color blocking there, however. And we also got this 990 V1, I believe, which was in more of a pink color, but yet another super clean pair. In fact, I would say these three pairs probably some of the cleanest we've seen so far in this entire history of Made in USA. Let's get back into this shoe, however, the 990 V6 Cream. And before we can even talk about this colorway, let's talk about this model. Now, if you have never owned a pair of 990 V6s before, and I can bet that a lot of you guys watching this video, this might be the first colorway that you've considered copying of the 990 V6. Well, there's a lot that's different about this shoe than previous 990s. First of all, visually, now the biggest visual difference about the V6s is that they completely got rid of that mid panel. All of the previous 990 models had this suede mid panel. It's where the N logo used to sit. However, on the V6, they've removed the mid panel. Instead, you got these suede panels that go all around the shoe, and you have the N logo actually sitting directly on the mesh upper. It's a very different looking N logo as well. You might have noticed it's a lot bigger, more modern looking. Personally, I really like what they've done with the design of the V6s because the previous three models, in my opinion, all kind of looked pretty much identical. So it's good to see this more streamlined, more updated look. The other big visual difference is the midsole. Now, it might appear that the midsole is much bigger on this pair than previous versions. The midsole actually goes over the upper of the sneaker a little bit. So if you saw this big midsole and thought, hey, maybe I should buy these because I'll probably look a lot taller in them, it's not really the case, because when you have your feet in the shoe, the top of this midsole is actually higher than where the bottom of your feet will be inside the shoe. By the way, very quickly, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping content like this every single week, and the links to all my social medias as well as my sneaker podcast, that can all be found in the description. But now let's get into this colorway. So the official colorway for this shoe is Mindful Gray and Bone. And to me at least, this is the cleanest pair of V6s to release so far, a super wearable colorway. There's actually 4 different colors on this shoe. We got cream, white, gray, as well as a tan brown color. Starting off with the mesh panels that are all over the upper, it seems like there's a lot more mesh on the V6s than the previous versions. And the mesh on this pair is done in this cream color. The leather panels on the upper are done in a nice white color. My favorite color on the shoe, however, has to be this dark tan brown color, which you see on this back suede panel, and especially on this mud guard. I think that contrast there just adds a lot to the shoe. If you look at the 990 V4 that released alongside this pack, I felt like it was really missing that tan brown color on the mud guard, because on the V6 at least, it looks really good. That contrast is very nice to look at. Moving down to the midsole, it starts off in a cream color and then transitions to, actually this is a 5th color on the shoe, which I didn't mention before. It's more of a lighter brown color, almost like a sand color. The tongue is actually pretty interesting on this pair because it's a 2-toned tongue. Try saying that 5 times fast. It's done in mesh all the way, but it starts off in a cream mesh at the bottom and then transitions to more of a white mesh at the top. And finally, the outsole is done in gray. All in all, with this pair, I gotta say, like, the pictures look really good with this pair, but it wasn't until I opened the box and I looked at these shoes in hand today that I truly appreciated this. You gotta see the shoe in hand to really appreciate it. This, for me, is definitely the best colorway I have seen. I'm not exaggerating, this is the best colorway I've seen so far on the V6s. As far as laces go, the standard laces that come with the pair are done in white, and you also get this pair of cream laces here, which I'm sure are gonna look great on the shoe, but I think I'm gonna leave the white pair on mine. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I have been a very big fan of the 990 V6. I already own 2 pairs as part of my personal collection, the original gray as well as the recently released Lapis Lazuli pair. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that the 990 V6 is by far the most worn model over the last year for me. It's become pretty much my everyday shoe, and the number one reason for that is the comfort. This is the first 990 V6 to use New Balance's fuel cell technology in the midsole. The only other models that have the fuel cell technology for New Balance are their running models, but they chose to put it on the 990 V6, and it is a pretty big upgrade, at least in my opinion. Pretty much all of the other 990s feature New Balance's Absorb technology, which, let's be honest, it's from the 80s, it's nothing revolutionary. And when you consider how high the retail prices are for 990s, well, I know you're getting some pretty nice materials, but you're also getting some 80s technology. They definitely weren't as comfortable as some of the newer models on the market today from other brands. So with the V6, you're getting a much softer, much squishier cushioning technology, which you really feel on feet. Another thing you'll notice also is the shoe is super lightweight compared to previous 990 models. It's so lightweight, in fact, that I think you could even get away with using these as a running shoe. Personally, these have become my everyday gym shoes. Yeah, big fan of how these feel on feet. For sizing on these, so with the 990 V6, they do fit slightly different for me than other 990 models, so I do find that they are a bit narrower in the toe area. However, I go true to size in the V6s just like I go true to size with all my other 990s, but with previous versions, they did feel like a bit more roomier than these. My suggestion to you guys is go with whatever your previous 990 size is. You will fit the same in the V6s. I took my Action Bronson pair on a recent trip, and I actually noticed something with the shoe that I didn't really notice before, and that was that these seem to fit a bit more snug than other GR colorways of the 990 V6. The cream pair for me fit just like the original gray pair or pretty much any other GR version. For some reason, those Action Bronson pairs seem to fit slightly more snug. Once again, my sizing advice for you guys is go with the exact same size you wore in previous 990s. For me, that is true to size. For you, it might be true to size or it might be a half size down. Overall, I have to say, guys, considering how much I love the 990 V6, this particular colorway for me is definitely one of my favorite shoes that I've picked up this year. I feel like if this wasn't a general release, like if this was, let's say, an Emilion Dore collab, people would be talking about these being sneaker of the year potentially, but because it's just a general release, they seem to be pretty easy to get, pretty widely available, but that is a great thing for those of you who really wanted these. I think if you've been kind of on the fence with the 990 V6, then this colorway right here should be the perfect one for you to finally give it a shot, try it out for yourself. You won't regret it, especially with how good they feel on feet. Absolutely a cop for me. Let me know in the comments what do you guys think about this pair. And thank you guys so much for watching this video and for all the support on the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.